So I'm gonna do Pearl's little murder mystery. So I went in wherever he's at now, grabbed Nick. Replaced out for Longfellow. I mean, do a mystery, take the detective, right?
Detective, shall we head to the hotel so you may begin your work?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's be off then.
There you are, Nick, come on.
Looks like it isn't just the police who have been lax lately. The Islands building inspector ought to be fired. The hotel staff really needs to do something about the lobby. I should warn you, some of the other hotel guests are a bit, rowdy. I was forced to defend myself when a few became a bit handsy, shall we say. The registered patrons are in a more exclusive area of the hotel, though, and do not associate with this sort of rabble. Shall we be off?
What do you mean the other patrons are rowdy?
I had not been in this part of the hotel for some time. Perhaps there is some sort of sporting event that has them agitated. Several of them tried to grab me and, well, their clothing was certainly not suitable for polite company. Shall we be off?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go.
Very good. This way.
So not in this part for a while. You mean you were, down in the vault? Gotta be a vault. It just looked like a vault entrance. Nick? Why do you have a welding mask, torch and stuff stuck to your arm? Ugh. Yep. Vault 118. What pretty tables. Let's do this.
Greetings! Welcome to Vault 118. Your home away from home. Underground. Are you the detective we sent for?
Yep.
Yes, I'm the detective.
Thank goodness. Let me just open the door for you.
Wow, air pressure. Positive pressurization will help keep you safe.
Well, it's about time the police sent someone out to investigate. We have many important residents and they're very worried.
What happened? Who died?
It's Mr. Parker, the primary owner and financier for the hotel. This is just a disaster. They're at the crime scene.
Sounds
Have a
like
look at
trouble.
the crime scene for clues. When you're ready, we can discuss your findings. You'd better come with me, Detective.
Yes, I think that's best.
What the hell do you think you're doing? This is a crime scene.
Do you not see the glory of the thing? The artistry.
What the hell is wrong with you?
Excuse me?
Ezra, you have outdone yourself. This is your finest work. There is more emotion in his death than most have had in their entire lives.
I've been told
Our
the
friend is
Valentine
dead, Mr.
Detective
O'Keefe. Have you
Agency.
no respect?
I'm just saying that at least he had the decency to make a spectacle of it. There is nothing worse
Please,
than
if I may.
That's
I
what
could
this is
just
to you?
have your attention.
You're sick.
I'm sorry for shouting, but the detective has arrived and shall begin the investigation henceforth. Please return to your rooms until the detective has examined the crime scene and had a chance to come speak with you.
They put the brains of all the fancy rich people in robo-brains.
protect
Bodies.
and serve.
Have a look at the crime scene for clues. When you're ready, we can discuss your findings. You are free to question the residents. but their safety is our priority. So unless you have solid evidence, I would avoid
I guess
accusations.
someone wasn't a fan of robo-brains. It's not this one.
Looks like the brain enclosure was smashed.
I want a spotlight. Besides, I'll fit in so much better. I am probably going to clip out numerous long parts where I'm searching around looking at things.
Red paint. Bingo.
Fence Buster ignores 30% target's damage and energy resistance.
Baseball bat. Huh. What is this doing here?
Smashing a brain casing. Guess we can discuss the baseball bat.
Hello again, Detective. Was there anything else?
Your residents are robots.
Not robots, Detective. Well, not exactly, anyway. I believe the term they use is robo-brain. Back before the war, the residents decided the best way to wait it out was to put their brains inside robotic chassis. Was there anything else?
Tell me about the victim.
Mr. Ezra Parker was the primary owner and financier for the hotel. He had vast experience managing venture projects around the world. It was his idea to have our premier clients become investors in the vault section of the hotel. He worked with Vault Tech to have this built to their every specification. Was there anything else?
I found the murder weapon.
Oh no. That's the bat from Mr. McKinney's movie. You don't think he could be involved, do you? I can't imagine him ever doing such a thing. Was there anything else?
Never mind.
I'll be here should you need me.
Really, is it going to be that quick and easy? Seems almost cheesy. Alright, Keith McKinney, the Fighting Furies, last stand at Fort McGee. I saw the promo for that at the theater.
Why'd you do it, huh? He deserved better than that.
You think I'm stupid? I saw the way he looked at you. You gonna tell me that's nothing?
It wasn't like that. We were friends. He helped me out of a tight spot or two is all.
I couldn't stand by like some pasty-faced Percy while he put the moves on my best girl.
But now the law is on our tail. What are we going to do?
Come away with me. Let's leave this dark hole of a city behind. We can be in Buenos Aires by tomorrow.
Oh, I want to believe you, I do, but they'll never let us go.
Then we'll make our stand here. I've got a gun for each of us.
No, 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 no. The line is, then we'll make our stand here. Two lovers together with a bullet for each of them.
God, why can't I ever get that line? Forget it. I can't do this right now.
Fine. I'm going to the beach.
Hello, Detective. How can I help? Did you have questions about the case?
Yes, but I won't wait till her tracks fade. Just thinking, though, there's no blood in that protective dome. Had to have been red paint to simulate the blood.
I found your baseball bat at the crime scene. Care to explain how it got there?
Someone is clearly trying to frame me for the murder. It's probably Santiago. You saw him skulking around the crime scene.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
It's obviously Santiago. He keeps going back to look at the crime scene.
What were you and Gilda talking about when I walked in?
Oh, we were just rehearsing a scene. Nothing to worry about.
Maybe later.
Okay. Just let me know how I can help.
You know, I'm going to run a bit of a risk. I'm going to ditch my power armor and save the fusion core. Let's put it in the hall. Ah, this will be good. Nice to stretch. Alright, let's see. And really, was it just the 2 or 3 residents? Should be more, for nothing other than...
200 years of life and then...
no effect. No residency. People filling it out.
Well. If it isn't the long arm of the law. Tell me, are you a devotee of the arts? Does that cruel news call you to a entrapping pose?
Can I pull it?
Art is life. Without it, we are no different than animals.
Perhaps, if all we are is a sentience floating in a suit of flesh, or metal, I suppose, then art is the only true communion with the world. Come with me. Tell me, what does this piece say to you?
It's a vase.
It's about composition, the balance of colors and emotions, and the struggle to maintain internal order.
Indeed. This was the last piece I did in a series of portraits of Gilda, number 1378. Her emotional landscape is superimposed on the portrait. The reality of the subject is distorted as the ego attempts to project itself. This way.
1378 portraits? Really?
Tell me, what does this one say to you?
Trees in space, it's the war.
It's the war. Bombs from every direction, no up or down, the world turned on its head.
I suppose in a way it must be. Art shapes the world, and the world shapes art in return. All art must therefore be constantly reborn through the lens of contextual and historic interpretation. It must ascend.
Yeah.
And what about this one? And please be honest, for art without honesty is just politics.
This is bullshit. It's cute. It's a metaphor. I have an outstanding charisma bonus. I'm like 16. Let's try it.
It's a metaphor. A young creature grappling with ideas it doesn't possess the capability to understand.
Intriguing. The mind will superimpose meaning where none was intended. I had not considered it. Truth be told, this is my best-selling piece. I did this series under a pseudonym, of course. This series has made more money than any of my serious works. And I did the whole thing as a lark. What does that tell you about the value of art to the common man, huh? My fellow connoisseur of the art. Here to see my latest work?
I found red paint at the crime scene. You know anything about that?
No, actually. Ezra borrowed my last cannon. Now I can't find it.
I think you should explain why you keep returning to the crime scene.
It's for inspiration, detective. The others do not like to think about it, but even we shall die someday. Like Prometheus' torch, it kindles within me the fire to create as much art as I can in the time that I have.
It sounds like you've done a lot of paintings of Gilda. Why her?
Our Gilda is a very singular creature, detective. Do you not see this what it feels from within her? I have never met another who clings to life so tenaciously, who lives so in the moment. I must admit I was quite smitten with her for a time.
You're still in love with Gilda, aren't you?
So what if I am? What business is it of yours? She deserves someone who truly understands her ephemeral beauty, not that broke actor.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
The person you should be looking at is Juliana Riggs. That Philistine would not know art from her own excrement. She and Ezra had a rather dramatic fight recently. You could hear her banshee screeches all the way across the hotel.
What were Juliana and Ezra arguing about?
I don't know. I was painting at the time and I was trying to block it out. Though I bet Guido probably heard them. Maybe you should check with her.
Maybe later.
Good. I hope my paintings are able to open your mind to new possibilities.
Alright, let's head to the beach. I think that's where she said she was going.
Hello, Mr. Whiskers. Who's a pretty kitty?
Juliana, yeah, Mr. Whiskers died last month. This is Scruffy. Remember?
Oh, of course. Silly me.
Just let me have a look at the neural interface matrix, and I'm sure I can clear that.
No, it's not that. I've just caught another cold. Probably something that got in when they sent Pearl out.
Sure made a mess of this place,
Not
didn't you?
this again. Last month you were convinced you had the measles.
You're not a doctor. What would you even know about it? Besides, I think it may be malaria.
First of all, I am a doctor.
Yes, but not a real doctor. Robotics isn't an actual medical degree.
Secondly, I've told you time and again, you can't get sick inside the suit. It's not physically possible.
I know when I'm getting sick, Bert. Now, why don't you just wander off and play in your lab? Mr. Scruffy and I are going to rewrite the will, so he will get everything when I die because horrible Bert didn't believe me.
Oh, God, Juliana.
Have fun
Whatever.
there.
I'm going to the lab. Hello, Detective. Did you look on it something?
Gotta let her tread. There we go.
I heard that Juliana and Ezra had an argument a few days before he was found dead. Tell me about that.
Well, I was in my lab at the time, so I didn't hear it. But Juliana has always been rather critical of Mr. Parker. I think she found something in the overseer's office. I wasn't listening when she told me about it. I kind of had my head in my research. I don't know, really. I try to let her handle all the money stuff. Was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about yourself.
Oh, well, I'm a scientist. You've probably met my wife, Juliana, already. Not sure what else to say, really. Was there something else, Detective?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Oh, well, that's not really my field of expertise, but I'm sure there are probably some clues at the crime scene. Was there something else, Detective?
Tell me about your research.
Well, I was one of the leads on the team that created the first robo-brains, the precursors to our model. Most people don't find it all that interesting, and I'd rather not bore you. Was there something else, Detective?
No. Well,
I'd like to hear more about your research.
Oh, wonderful. No one else here really wants to talk about it. Fortunately, this model is more or less the same as the previous versions I worked on, but without the neural inhibitor and the reconditioning. The voice modulator seems to have some minor issues interfacing with the neural matrix, which can add some moodiness. But that's easily solved with regular tune-ups. Was there something else, Detective?
more? Voice modulator. Wait.
Robo-brains have a voice modulator. Tell me about that.
That's what allows us to recreate our original voices. They can mimic any normal human voice, actually. I've speculated for some time that the issues we had with our recruited subjects is due to the brain attempting to preserve a sense of self. Maintaining our original voices helps reinforce the neural network, sort of like playing music for an Alzheimer patient. Was there something else, Detective?
Yeah, I've seen your original lab.
I'd like to hear more about your research.
I'm afraid that's really all I should say about it. I mean, it is still classified, but I wanted to help with the investigation. Oh, was there something else, Detective?
Never mind.
Very well. I'll just get back to my work then.
Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
Tell me about yourself.
I'm Juliana Riggs, heiress to the Riggs fortune and wife of Bert Riggs. I'm not sure what else you expected, Detective.
I heard you had a big fight with Ezra a few days ago. Care to explain?
Oh, well, it wasn't that big a deal, really. He wanted more money to pay for repairs on the hotel. I wasn't feeling well that day and lashed out a bit at the poor man. I really should have listened to him more.
Oh, I'm gonna get pitched out for this.
What's with all the junk in here?
These are our things. We're just waiting till the war blows over so we can bring them back to mansion.
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
If you ask me, it's one of those actors. Or that horrible painter. Their type is always the cause of violence.
Never mind.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective.
Actually, beach chair. Painter's room. Broken tiles. Oh, that's nice.
You think anyone actually felt like they were at the beach in here? Yeah, me neither.
But it would be a nice distraction compared to the rest.
Well now, if it isn't the brave detective. I haven't seen someone with a body like that in far too long.
You're not so bad yourself.
You should have seen me before all this. Red hair that was the envy of every girl and legs for days, darling. I'm sure you'd rather hear some of my stories from the silver screen rather than talk about that nasty murder business.
All right.
Keith and I first met when we acted together in Empire on the Nile. It was a period piece, huge production budget. He played Mark Antony, and I, of course, played Cleopatra. Ooh, how I hated that black hair, though. Sean Holzman, he was the director, you see. Well, he threw the most lavish set parties. They were absolutely bacchanalian. Did you need something else?
I found Keith's baseball bat at the scene of the murder. Any thoughts on how it got there?
I don't know, Detective. I can't really imagine Keith killing Ezra. Did you need something else?
Apparently, Juliana had a big argument with Ezra a few days before he died. Did you happen to overhear any of the conversation?
Oh, yes. I haven't seen a woman go off like that since Teresa Dubois fired her costume designer. But to get back to your question, it was fever-pitch, Detective. She had apparently gone to the overseer's office to check on the state of things and found it in horrible disrepair. But, and this is where it gets interesting, it sounded like she found something that really set her off. Couldn't hear what, though. Did you need something else?
Tell me about yourself.
My favorite subject. Simply put, darling, I'm the greatest actress in the world. When this international scuffle blows over, I shall return to the silver screen and lead the world to a new golden age of cinema. Did you need something else?
Not looking like that, you're not, but okay.
I've gotten the impression you've had an affair with Santiago.
Look, I love Keith, I do. But sometimes he just can't give me the attention I need. A girl gets lonely, Detective. It only lasted a few dozen years. The man's a bit much, even for me. Did you need something else?
The perspective of bots.
What were you and Keith talking about when I came in?
Cyborgs.
Oh, that? We were rehearsing. Gotta stay sharp if we're going to rebuild Hollywood. But Keith always gets flustered when he's upset. Did you need something else?
Did you have any thoughts about the murder?
Well, it is a bit strange how obsessed Santiago has been with the murder. I mean, he's always been a bit obsessive, though. He did a whole series of paintings of me, hundreds. Said I was his muse. It was flattering for a while. But the man is a bit much, even for me. Did you need something else?
Never mind.
I'll be around.
languishing from your inattention.
Alright, off to the Overseer's office. To be able to clean this place out and resettle it with settlers. Make a working vault of it. Well, working and productive vault of it. Time to take a look. Oh. Overseer's instructions. Vault 118 is designed to test the social interactions between the working class and ultra-wealthy when under confined conditions. Working in conjunction with staff from the Cliff's Edge Hotel, this vault shall function as a luxury hotel to attract the necessary testing subjects. Upon beginning the test, additional subjects shall be admitted from the local population into a second, much inferior wing of the vault. Prior to activation, Vault 118 shall function as an ultra-elite hotel, track test subjects, appropriate wealth and status, This shall be operated as a clandestine area of the hotel to ensure that individuals drawn to privilege and exclusivity are present. Upon activation, notice from Vault-Tec, the secondary wing of the vault shall be made open to the public and selected from the local working class population. These subjects are to be taken through the exclusive areas of the vault on entry, but thereafter confined to cramped second wing. Once residents have been admitted, the vault is to be sealed until test results can be determined. Preferential treatment. Test Group A, Ultra Elites. This subject group, not to number more than 10, shall have their every desire attended to by robotic staff, to the extent that is possible. They are considered to be above all legal restrictions when interacting with Test Group B. Test Group B, working class. This subject group should begin numbering 300 and shall be restricted to the second wing of the vault. Measures should be taken to ensure that living conditions are uncomfortable and cramped. Food and other rations are to be extremely limited, and any breach of rules are to be judged by Test Group A and enacted by robotic staff members. Ooh, talk about an aristocracy nobility setup. Staff duties and security. Due to the potential for extreme social interactions, Vault-Tec staff shall be restricted to the Overseer and key research members. All other security services and maintenance positions shall be filled by robotic staff to ensure safety and test compliance. Overseer's log. Change of testing parameters. This is completely unheard of. One of the subjects from Testing Group A is apparently a researcher for General Atomics on some sort of advanced robotics program. He and his wife have convinced the other members of Group A that with the international situation becoming tense once again, their best chance to outlast the war is to have their brains inserted in these robots. And they're doing this voluntarily. It's absolutely insane. I've tried to convince my superiors that this will completely discount the test results, but they seem more intrigued by the idea than appalled. Door wouldn't open. Received the activation notice from Vault-Tec to begin the test, despite the second wing still being incomplete. However, when I attempted to trigger the recruitment protocol for Test Group B, the system informed me that I had been locked out. Someone from Test Group A seems to have overridden the system to prevent the admittance of the local population of the island. They've been pounding on the door for days and there's nothing I can do. I can't take this. Oh God, it's been weeks now, and I realize today that I've become the test subject. Instead of testing the social interactions between the locals and this group of rich assholes, it's just me trapped in here with them. They're going to live forever, and I have to deal with them for the rest of my life. I can't take it. Play the tape.
Progress on construction of the second wing of the vault is completely stalled. Once the premier area of the vault had been completed, funding seems to have been cut off. My supervisors have informed me that they haven't received payment from Mr. Parker, and Vault-Tec won't pay out of pocket to continue construction. I've repeatedly approached Ezra about the finances, but he keeps telling me that Mrs. Briggs hasn't transferred the funds. However, when I asked her, Juliana said that she had just given Ezra extra for the gold paint in the rooms. I've hired an investigator to look for signs of embezzlement in a few weeks.
Why do I take every tape? I don't need them.
Sounds like Ezra was embezzling from his investors.
Well, let's go on back down.
I found some evidence that Ezra was embezzling from you and the other investors.
Oh, well, I really don't believe that. Mr. Parker wouldn't do such a thing, I'm sure.
Maybe later.
Good luck catching the murderer, Detective.
It's got to be one of you. Just wipe you all out, clean the place up, and bring in living people. You know, I've got clues. I mean, the red paint.
This isn't blood. It's red paint.
Yeah, there's no blood in the systems. I already mentioned that. We got the bat framing the actor. I've got the red paint framing the artist. Yeah, I'm definitely thinking Juliana did it. There's implementing factors of both the other main guests. Let's talk to her husband again. Bert. Perfect.
Have you noticed Juliana acting strangely lately?
Oh, well, I'm probably just being paranoid, but she's been so much more pleasant lately. I mean, it's been nice, but also a bit unnerving. Most people don't really understand us, but I always appreciated how she can just take charge of a situation. It's what allowed me to focus on my research. I'm worried something has happened to her. She doesn't seem like the same person. Was there something else, Detective?
Let's try it.
What do you mean Juliana's not the same person?
My wife has always been a very harsh woman, Detective. I don't know who is in our rooms, but that is not my wife, Detective. Was there something else, Detective?
Nope.
Maybe later.
Very well. I'll just get back to my work then.
Okay, everything I've discovered so far, this may sound whacked out, but I'm thinking Ezra somehow switched Juliana's case onto his body. Yeah, Cernaville's on their own. They got good defenses. But switched her onto his body, then killed her. And it's changed the voice modulator to sound like Juliana.
You see a lot of folks at their worst in my line of work. Hard to not let it get to
Hello, Detective. Did you have a question about the heinous murder?
I wanted to go about it, but
I think you're the real murderer.
That's just silly, Detective. Why would I want to kill Mr. Parker?
Give it up. I know your secret, Juliana. Or should I say, Ezra?
Well, Detective, that's quite the claim.
It's a shame. I thought I could keep the ruse going a little longer. Oh, well, had to end eventually, I suppose. This doesn't have to end in more violence, Detective. Just walk away. I'll leave, and you can tell them I escaped.
shit, I was right.
Why did you kill Juliana?
I hadn't planned on it, but Juliana figured out what I was doing and had to be dealt with swiftly. I thought I could get a bit more money out of this place before making my escape. What's it going to be, Detective? Join me in getting rich? Or die defending some outdated ideals?
I don't need the money. I just don't.
Not a chance. Your murder spree stops here.
Then let us end this.
Hey, Nick, stay out of the way.
Citizens, you may now resume your normal activities.
Part 2. Oh.
done much good at this point.
Yep. God, I was still carrying my anti-bot gun.
Protect and serve.
I found the killer.
It was Ezra. He killed Juliana and took her place to hide his tracks.
My word! I never thought Mr. Parker was capable of something like this. What happened when you confronted him?
Does it really matter?
Yes, of course it matters. The man was a murderer. We need to know if he is still at large.
Turns out Robo-Brains can eat. And I served him up a heaping helping of justice.
Well, bravo, I suppose. Here you are, detective. Payment for your services and a bonus for uncovering such a heinous plot. I don't think we could have done it without you.
Another 400. So that's like 900 pre-war. Very nice. Alright, gang. I'm going to explore, take a look around. So, leave your thoughts, comments, observations, suggestions down below. Hit the like or dislike. Remember, find something that means something to you and get involved. Make a difference. But whatever it is, whether it's up and out or from behind your terminal, take care, stay safe, and I'll catch you next time. But until then, I'm out from here. Bye.